Welcome back, everybody. Time now for your winner bracket final. The Nanyang Championships Chinese qualifier almost coming to an end. We've got 3 days or 2.5 days left of action. The winner bracket final today. We'll finish off the lower bracket tomorrow, and then we'll have our grand finals the day after. Get hyped. It's IG versus EHOME, best of 3. The winner will be in the grand finals, just one best of 5 away from being, well, the 4th Chinese representative in Singapore at the Nanyang Championship to join Vici Gaming, LGD, and CDEC, the 3 invited teams. Game 1 begins now. I'm Gods, and joining me is Winter. How are you doing, Winter?
Reserve time.
I didn't have a proper dinner. I only had bread.
Bread? It sounds like you're in prison or something. Just existing on the bare minimum. What happened to you? Do you not know how to cook, or what was the problem?
Busy playing a pub.
You played a pub. So we had a 1 hour break, and instead of eating, you played a pub, and now you're complaining to me that you didn't get to eat. Whose fault is that? Huh?
Let's just move on.
All right. Bustin' chops. We got game 1, IG versus EHOME. EHOME no longer with ROTK. They've kind of mixed things up. They've got Lanham in the drafter/captain role, I believe. CTY now playing carry, and Old Chicken, the former newbie young player, is going to be playing mid for this team. As for IG...
isn't he from Energy Pacemaker?
Oh, yeah, Energy Pacemaker, that's right. He was on Newbie Young for a small while, but yeah, he was known... Yeah, you're right. Energy Pacemaker was where he kind of became well-known. And IG have mixed things up. They've added Super, the lowercase Super, formerly of Rising Stars, as well as some... I don't know, what team was he on most recently?
Wings,
okay.
Gaming.
Known for his support play, playing heroes like Wisp, Enchantress, Chen, and then Rabbit's also become the new carry player for this team. Rabbit actually played really well yesterday, so interested to see how IG do here. Draft already well underway in Winter. It's actually a slightly different draft. We have a Shadow Fiend picked up very early on, for one thing.
Yeah, it's a Radiant Shadow Fiend plus Shaker, but Shaker has been, I think, the flavor of the tournament. Everyone is picking Shaker in the first phase. Yep. Like almost every game.
Or banning it in the first stage in the case of our previous
10
game.
seconds remaining.
But yeah, with the Shadow Fiend, I mean, every time, like, IG is just... 430 is so well known for his Shadow Fiend. It seems to be one of those heroes IG just go to when they think they can just get an easy win off of it. It's definitely one of his best heroes, despite maybe not being his signature hero, but... I just remember at, like, Star Ladder, at, like, any LAN event you go to, if IG get down a game in a best of 3, that's like, okay, it's time to pull out the 430 Shadow Fiend, and he's historically been very good at just putting games on his shoulders on this hero, but we'll see if he can continue that streak or not. The one hero I talked about yesterday with LD that I think will be banned out in all 3 games is Luo's Brood. He destroyed yesterday with it, and it's just one of those problem heroes, which... I feel like EHOME just don't want to deal with, regardless of whether they have a preparation kind of strategy for it or not.
It still happens now and then, though. Sometimes you just forget about the Brood and it slips through. And this is going to be like either anti-mage or PL game, probably.
IO. Huh. So this is like a super signature hero in some ways. We'll see what they look to pair it with. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an IO Tiny. It could just be some kind of other standard safe lane carry.
That immediately mostly tells her that the Earthshaker is off lane, because you don't want to run IO plus Shaker as your support duo. It's very weak. Yeah. And generally when teams pick IO plus Shaker, it's usually off lane Shaker. And they will pair IO with another lane support most of the time.
5 seconds remaining.
We'll see what EHOME look to respond with. They've committed to 1 support in the Rubik. If they want to go for some kind of a counterplay, the Disruptor is there for the IO relocate if they want to have the Glimpse at their disposal. Witch Doctor, another nice support that can act as a pseudo counter with the bouncing cast, but still plenty of options as they haven't committed to their mid or their carry yet. So, anything kind of stand out to you as to heroes that EHOME would look to pick up here?
I'm thinking what they want to do with their heroes though. With Tusk, you can either go for 5-man against the relocate, or you can just go for lane dominance. I was thinking about TA as well. Yeah. TA will be good in the lane, and they have Dire. They have the Dire advantage, so they can always use the Aegis to actually help them group up and push and fight.
Ooh, it might be a Earthshaker support with the Bristle pickup, and it could be safe lane.
With this it's a bit tricky though, because sometimes you want to have for example, when the opponent has a very weak safe lane, you want to have IO plus Bristle. You can take advantage of the weak safe lane that the opponent has, you can beat the lane with IO plus Bristol pretty much, and you can pick another safe laner. It means your draft sort of becomes much more greedy because the opponent actually allows you to do it.
Oh. EHOME see this and pick up Witch Doctor, so they get that strong lane support, and a hero that's actually decent at dealing with an IO Bristleback duo. The Cask is handy, the Maledict can also potentially be useful if you want to take that approach, but the Cask is the main reason this hero is being picked up.
Yeah, it's just really good in the lane at dealing with the Bristol and good at dealing with the relocate. I'm curious to see what IG wants to do here, because if they were to do what we were talking about before, the IO plus Bristol off lane, they can go for a Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain plus Shaker, and Shaker can... If you have Queen of Pain, then the Shaker plus IO support duo doesn't feel as weak because your lane is much more stable with the Queen on the lane. Then the Shaker can be roaming around and doing his own thing, maybe stacking. I think he should prioritize stacking more Ancients or stacking neutrals for the Shadow Fiend. Their heroes could use a lot of economical boost from stacking the jungle, stacking the Ancient. So I think that's one of the more important things that EHOME has to be careful with. Maybe just lay traps around the area or place early wards to scut up all the stacking that IG would be doing in this game.
Alright, well, and EHOME don't have the best lineup to run in and contest it. TA is probably a bit more farm-centric and isn't going to be looking to make those kind of aggressive moves or plays. Tusk may be decent, but...
You can steal the stack though with the TA if you actually scout it out. And it depends on how they finish their lineup. Will they round their lineup with something that can actually fight very well around stacking the Ancients area? So they're indeed going to go for the Queen. So that will actually make the lanes quite strong. It's quite unpredictable how they want to do this. They can still, even though we talk about IO plus Bristol off lane, they can still do IO Bristol safe lane, and they can do Shaker plus Queen off lane, depending on what they feel EHOME is going to do in their safe lane. Yeah. Because right now EHOME can actually just do Rubik Witch Doctor +1, right? The lane is very strong. So if that is the lane, you don't want a Bristleback to go there. You probably just want a Queen to be off lane. Then.
Yeah, and you don't... It may just depend on what EHOME pick here, since they haven't revealed what their safe lane farmer will be this game.
Not sure what they want to. Maybe Ember. Ember would be like a very normal pick in this meta.
Yeah.
Ember... Anti-Mage would be like very slow to come online. There's still PR. PR is okay. PR is still be able to fight early, but I still like the Ember more against Relocate though. I think Ember doesn't need too much to come online, and it's pretty good versus the Queen. You can lock her down with the chains. Because currently they don't really have much reliable lockdown against Queen apart from the lift. Snowball is like usually Queen can blink out it depending on the situation. So maybe you can have the chains from the Ember to reliably lock down the Queen of Pain.
And I don't know if you watched yesterday, but after yesterday's Anti-Mage game, EHOME may be thinking twice about picking CTY Anti-Mage for a little while because he had a bit of a rough game.
I actually have a long history with CTY's Anti-Mage. Remember like back in the day?
Yes, back in the day.
So much. Was it J-League? Oh my god.
The game where he like sold his Battle Fury, bought like a BKB.
8 items or something, 9 items. Then he rebuys his Battle Fury because he realized he can't push the wave without Battle Fury.
It was a similar level of clowniness in the game yesterday where he was just making all kinds of questionable plays, going weird items that didn't seem to work well for him, and basically throwing the game, let's just say. But he's going to be on the slack this time, so a player who is suited to playing more aggressive style carries, I feel, in a lot of ways, although he's great in the laning stage.
What's that? Similar to Cure.
Yes, similar to Cure, where he's great in the laning stage, plays aggressive heroes, and then can really take control of the game. And this is a good type of... To me, it's a good hero. I mean, I feel like Anti-Mage suits him. He just, for whatever reason, has these... makes these weird, just brain farts, basically, is all I can really say. Like, because the guy's an incredibly talented player, but... Anti-Mage
is more suited for a very experienced and stable type of carries, you know. Slug is more of a very aggressive carry. Slug, Storm, Ember.
It's more forgiving as well, in some ways.
I've not seen CPY play Ember, so maybe that's not the hero. But going into the game, so this is game 1 of IG versus EHOME.
Yep.
I'm going to take the EHOME side, my friend. We have Kaka playing the Rubik, Lamb on the Witch Doctor, CTY on the Slug, and we have Old Chicken on the TA, and lastly we have 11 playing the off-lane Tusk.
Well, for the Radiant side, it's IG. You're going to have the new carry player Rabbit on Bristleback. Super, the new drafter for the team, going to be playing IO. We've got 430 on one of his best heroes, Shadow Fiend, going to be going mid. Chuan playing the roaming Earthshaker, and that leaves Luo actually going safe lane this time around on Queen of Pain for Team IG, and both teams eyeing off this top bounty rune. Got to be careful of that Rubik lift. You don't want to end up on a cliff here from the get-go. CTY goes in. He's looking to get this nice fissure timing. Io gets the rune. And Slack, QO, CTY, please. He's stuck for another 15 seconds. Bottom lane, it's actually Luo in some trouble here. 11's winning the man fight and also got the bounty rune at bottom, so he gets an early edge against Queen of Pain.
He dodged the poison with the snowball. That's going to give him a switch advantage on the lane. So he has to be very careful when he's throwing out. This matchup is just about dodging the poison as the task. If you can actually dodge the poison, you can actually win the lane.
Yep. We'll see Earthshaker start off near mid and doesn't have actually any mana for any fishes for the time being.
Just look at the tusk, he's just running at him.
Yeah, Orb of Venom. It's basically daring Luo to throw the poison. He throws it now, but damage has been done. 11 got some good harass.
They're going to lose the Bristol. No!
Not the start you wanted. Not the start that IG wanted or that I wanted. Missing first blood. Cap Pride. But yeah, bottom lane, it's just...
He doesn't have blink. Wow, he just got blinked. Oh my god, that was close. He would have died there.
Instantly salves up, and yeah, this top lane fight is... bottom lane fight is not going well for Luo whatsoever. Tron finally gets some clarities out, so he's going to linger around this mid lane, possibly looking to set 430 up for a kill, but TA very hard kill to find, and more likely Chuan will just end up stacking a lot of this jungle for the Shadow Fiend farm later on.
Dodges another poison with the snowball, and man, this lane is just really rough for the Queen, and he really needs the Shaker to come down to maybe set up a kill on the Tusk here.
And it's very possible, I would say, especially if Queen hits level 3 and maybe gets a second point in the poison.
Second point poison. They need the 2 points.
Oh, there we go. This fissures. There, the snowball. Did he dodge this one as well? Yep, you betcha. Luo will still look for the kill. Has a blink forward. He may get aggressive on this one. Chuan doesn't have any more fissures, and yeah, the damage just wasn't there. So, oh, feel like that should have been a kill, and he's going to get a regen off of this as well. Chuan is on the high ground, but doesn't have mana for a fissure. Lane is potentially slightly lost. Tusk doesn't have great CS, but neither player is CSing. They're just constantly trading blows and harassing, so there's not actually...
Yeah, I think this is how he should be playing, because if he's doing CS better like normal, Queen will actually take advantage of that, because she's the range hero, and Tusk is like the melee, so he's playing the matchup absolutely right, like forcing both heroes to keep trading harass, and he's just, with the regen rune, I think he's just going to win this lane now. Queen can't really use the courier, I think.
Queen's just back to base, yeah.
Yeah, SF needs to use the bottle, so Queen has to just go back to base. This is really, really bad for the Queen, but I don't think they have much choice after the Tusk picked up the regen there. And if you look at the other lanes, Bristol is not doing very well, so the lanes are definitely not going well for IG.
Io's got the bottle up in this lane, but they're not applying any pressure whatsoever. Bristles chewed through all the starting regen and is just playing passively, has 4 CS. And this is where Tusk has an empty lane, can actually catch up on that missing farm. With the nature of the lane, both Quap and Tusk were sitting on like 5 CS, but with Queen of Pain going back to Fountain, Tusk gets 2 free lanes of farm, which I believe is a bottle. Yeah, there's a bottle coming out for both Tusk as well as the mid lane TA. And with a bottle, this Tusk really takes over bottom lane.
They need a flying courier as well, because the Queen is going to need her bottle too. No one's upgrading a flying courier.
They've got a lift on the Bristleback, bring him from the river up to the high ground. They want this kill. CTY's got a pounce, holding on to it for now. Rabbit just 1 point in the Bristleback. That's not going to be anywhere near enough. And CTY doesn't even need the pounce. Just chases him down with the right click. Nice kind of job holding on to the mana. And it feels like Super's like, yeah, let's just start stacking some Ancients, stacking some Neutrals, because this laning stage is absolutely disastrous.
And I feel like EHOME made a really good rotation as well on the lanes. They probably wanted, initial plan was probably Witch Doctor plus Tusk offlane, so they had a 2-1-2 setup, but that would allow the Bristol to actually get a lot from the lane. And having the 3 heroes, I think it's so important to shut down a hero, offlane hero like Bristol. You can't really allow the Bristol to have a good time, because when Bristol has a good time, he's gonna snowball and take over the game.
Kaka.
Oh, chicken. Oh no.
Ooh, important kill to get there. I was kind of keeping an eye on Kaku. Get some deep wards here behind the Ancients, but nice rotation coming in.
I mentioned they needed to have
Bottom,
eyes.
meanwhile. Snowball in. Luo, one more right click, he's dead.
Damn, he's so killed.
Radiant's bottom
That's
tower
a
is
solo
under
kill for
attack.
Tusk. Didn't even have the Walrus Punch. He gets level 6 afterwards, and he's got boots. He's starting to build towards the phase boots even. What a disaster of a bot lane. Queen of Pain is just got nothing here.
Top. Bristle's dead. Oh my
Yep,
god.
he's
No
been
way.
lifted up again. This time they may need the pound. CTY, again, holding on to it for a little longer, but will need it in the end. Io comes in looking for the save. Not going to get a TP coming from Quap. Can they get a turnaround? I don't think so. It's risky to go blinking in. Lua will do so regardless. They don't decide to turn and fight. CTY's pounce wasn't up for another 3 seconds, and
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
that is still not really the kind of rotation or place you want your Queen of Pain to go. Potentially you want Bristle in the safe lane, I guess, now. No, they're sending Bristle right back top.
He's stepping back to top.
I thought
He just wants to refill the bottle of the waste. That's why.
at
And
this
now
point you
Tusk
want
coming in
Bristle
for the
to get
kill.
level 6 or 7 so you can farm the Ancient stack. Quan at mid, brought down with ease. Nice rotation from 11. He has just been all over this early game.
He just played so well this game. The Tusk so
He's-
far has been the shining star for EHOME.
He's going to be rewarded with another rune. He's probably begging for a haste rune or
Double
something
damage,
right now.
Double damage, maybe.
Illusion. Bit of a dud. But it's enough to refill his bottle. That's what matters right now. He's got an empty lane still at bottom, so may just continue to get a few more levels, a bit more farm, finish the phase boots, get the level 7 so you have the max ice shards, and yeah, Rabbit's in catch-up mode. He's actually going to start the Ancients now, just with the 2 points in Cool Spray and the 1 in Bristleback, but I mean,
This is gonna take a while though.
yeah, it sure will.
Some early ancient jungle, but he doesn't have much choice, I guess, because they feel like they can't really go back to top, which is right, because the lane is basically lost, so they have to only do this.
Yeah, does manage to farm it up, despite it taking... It doesn't take too long in the end. Gets another point in the Bristleback, and
It just took them like around half a minute
Yeah.
or 1 minute.
there's just
Not
no
too bad.
lane for him to go anyways. It's not like he can actually... Like, if he goes to the offlane, he just ends up dying, so... Doesn't feel like... We actually lost his stack there, so I'm not sure what happened, but... He lost his quill stack on these Ancients, so these are actually not going to be... Oh, he wanted to stack it again, that's why. But as a
Now
result,
here
he...
comes all the traps. The traps and the vision. EHOME has a very good idea of what's happening.
Yeah. He can't actually finish this off now, it feels like. He doesn't have the HP regen until Io comes back with a refilled bottle.
Yeah, he needs the Aya to come help him.
Yeah.
Tia is gonna steal the stack now. Try to steal.
At least some of it, maybe. No, Old Chicken, a little wary of that bottom lane. There's been another initiation. Luo gets jumped on. Walrus Punch was used as an ice shard soon, but he needed vision for the
And
snowball
there's
and the
no
blink
way.
away.
There's no way he can stay in this lane anymore. One harass from a Warrior's Punch and Snowball, he has to just leave.
I think he just wants to leech level 6 right now, but 11 isn't even
Yeah.
allowing that to happen. He's trying to get
He wants
6,
level 6.
and then he can heal up and then TP to a lane for a gank. He's got a salve coming out. He really wants to stay in this lane, which just doesn't seem wise, but he'll get level 6 during this roll. He could get level 6 while Tusk goes for the rune. They're
Oh,
actually
they're
looking for a
gonna
kill.
Radiant's
Can they
bottom
get here in
tower
time? It's
is
a bounty
under
rune,
attack.
so it's doable. 11 in trouble. Visha gonna hit just the Witch Doctor. Another great snowball comes out. It goes towards the Shadow Fiend. A bit of a risky maneuver here. He gets the Ice Shard block off.
Wow.
Luo has no
He's-
blink for 9
he's alive.
seconds. He's gonna
He's gonna
live.
be alive.
He can stick.
The
He can
Wisp-
bottle.
The Witch is
Oh.
coming.
Okay,
And
no, he's
he-
actually in trouble.
He can stick and TP. If he realizes he can stick and TP now, he's gonna leave.
Yep. Well, the pause gave him some time to think and potentially actually helped him out a little there, but that was such a big commitment. And he manages to escape. Somebody call Ben Wu.
Bamboo is playing a pub or sleeping right now, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, EHOME not going to let up the aggression. They immediately TP, will walk 11 back in with a smoke, and both supports with a level 8 Tusk get on the move.
And they're gonna kill anything they see.
Yep. Be it Shadow Fiend, Bristleback, they can tear apart anyone.
God, they're gonna kill the. If they can kill the Shadow Fiend, it's huge.
Yep. They'd also have they got a. This is a good time to get down an aggressive ward.
Yeah,
and
they
Nanyang
want
does
to
have
place
one.
the ward.
Yep.
There's a ward.
They want to get vision of this big neutral camp, ideally.
It's dead.
Kaka in the front,
dead.
leading the way. Fissure is there and available. Chuan going to throw it, but the snowball's already gone with the Warrior's Punch. Ferrari alive for now, turns and, well, he didn't really have any options there. Chuan may go down as well. The trap from the TA. Nice awareness from Old Chicken to get involved as well. Chuan not going to find a way out of this one. The Ice Shards is there, and Tusk gets himself a killing spree out of that.
Let's see where he places this ward, or he just wants to place it on the other side of the jungle.
Yeah, looks like they've already got the
maybe
mid
around.
lane covered by one ward, so...
Yeah, maybe around this area will be nice for him.
We'll see
Radiant's
him...
middle tower
He's thinking
is
about
under
it. There we go.
attack.
This is quite a difficult spot to deward. Usually you place the sentry here to cover this area as well. So this ward will be hard to deward. I don't really expect IG to be able to find this ward.
Everything going well for the side of EHOME so far in the early game. 430 is top of the CS, but as far as net worth goes, it is the Slark ahead with this Midas. They're looking for a kill on him, but Slark just going to turn this around and fight. He pops the ultimate, but he's taking a lot of quill stacks. Needs to be careful. The heal coming in from behind on the eye is out of bottle charges now, but Rabbit able to hold his own there fighting the Slark, but they were really looking for a kill there, and CTY manages to survive, and with the Shadow Dance, he just heals back up. As for Bristle and Io, they've got to go back to base. One.
Easy kill.
Yeah, you said it. Even holds on to the Walrus Punch for now.
He didn't want to cast. Gives
Wonderful.
a kill to the TA.
Old Chicken does hold on to a DD rune. I guess it's a bit early to go for Roshan. Just 1 point in meld and doesn't quite have what you need. Oh, could go for the SF with it. 11 walks into him, has the Ice Shards available, could go for a block, but it's the relocate. That's going to scare him back. Great block again! Oh!
Radiant's middle tower is under
11
Oh,
is
this
just
is
being...
such a good Tusk player. It's so demoralizing to play against the Tusk like this.
You know, most Tusks just do the standard, like, Ice Shard to nuke and block the enemy, but to save yourself like he's doing,
Oh my
that's
god.
something new.
Oh,
He
that's
almost
so
got that
close.
snowball hit.
Yeah, he almost got it to connect on the Queen of Pain, and that would be her death for sure. And this is the effect of a Tusk getting out of control in the lane. You never want to give Tusk so much space and room, because he's gonna be able to kill anyone on the map just by having levels. You know, he doesn't even need any specific item to be successful in his ganks. He just needs basically the boots and some mana regen and levels. That's all he needs. That's what he's been putting so much pressure on the opposing team. Like, IG have been under so much pressure whenever the Tusk is missing from the map.
And you know you've got CTY just farming away in the top lane while all this is going on. He's hit level 10 because of the Midas as well.
Yeah, I think he made a really good choice in choosing to go for the Midas this game, because his team is basically able to contain IG in their base, and he's allowed to do whatever he wants, and going for the greatest possible build is definitely the right call here. And the DD is definitely going to go for the rush.
Yeah, he
gets
held
a
on to it
level-
for a long time just for this, with the help of the Sigil of all things.
Yeah, second point melt so that he can actually do the rush faster.
Yep. 11 even comes in, gives Roshan the Walrus Punch. Unfortunately, Roshan does not go flying up in the air. That would be some fun to see.
He's gonna crash the ground if he flies in the air.
Reborn can't handle that. Support's nearby smoked up, but unlikely to be needed for this. Looks like Rubik tried to steal Fissure, ended up just with an enchant totem, so some slight saving grace. And ancient stacks on the dire side as well. It's not just the Bristle who can farm ancient stacks. TA, one of the best heroes in the game for this, and
Dire's middle tower
right after the
is under
Roshan
attack.
is going to head back towards mid lane, but probably will eye off those ancients fairly soon.
No, this is not looking good for IG at all. They have to just try to dodge fights and farm, because they have a lineup where 3 of their heroes need a lot of... They don't have a natural space maker, you know. Whenever you see teams pick like this with a relocate, you have to win the lanes. If you don't win the lanes, it becomes a battle of resources among your 3 cores on the map.
Yep.
Everyone is not getting enough, and
Radiant's middle
everyone
tower
is like
under
somewhat
attack.
starved, you know, because you don't really have
Radiant
enough
structures
resource.
are fortified.
The only one getting
Okay.
enough right now is 430, but we'll see an attempt in top lane. Rabbit in some trouble. The snowball coming in from 11 with a Walrus Punch. CTY will survive and get a double kill. If things weren't going bad enough, well, now you've got a Slark on a dominating
Tusk.
streak.
This Tusk is just making so much happen on the map.
It's
With the goal he has right now, I'm actually figuring whether he wants to go
Radiant's
dagger or
bottom
he wants to
tower
go...
is under
I mean,
attack.
Silver Edge is good versus the Bristleback though,
Yeah.
but because he's so farmed,
Dire's
having a dagger
middle
now
tower is
might
under
actually
attack.
be a good idea.
yeah, you'd normally see that. Witch Doctor finds a kill on Queen of Pain. That was in the river with the TA, but mid lane it's the Tusk. All eyes on him. Looking to go in once more. Has this snowball still available? He's holding on to it. Gets the sigil out. Will snowball. 430 cancels the ultimate. Snowball's on forward. Twine gets caught in this as well. Will turn in Fissure. Gets the steal. Yes, Fissure on the side of the Dire now. Can use this defensively if needed. Lamb. No mana for a cask and has already used it. The Fissure goes to from high ground to low down on Super. Super's dead now and no casualties on EHOME still. Aegis on TA means TA can just go in and fight. CTY's rocked up as well. Why the hell not? Oh dear, 2 for nothing in the mid lane. And IG just running out of options. Like you said, this is a lineup that doesn't really easily come back because they need, all 3 of their cores need a lot of farm to have an impact, and there's just limited farm available to this team because of how much map control and they've lost and because of how badly they lost the lanes.
Yeah, it's just the lanes, you know. When you run a draft like this, if you can actually get through the laning phase decent, your draft becomes so powerful because you have 3 farm cores, you know. But because the lanes didn't work out, right now they are struggling because every one of their cores are not able to make space, you know. I think at this point you have to sacrifice the Queen to be the space maker, but Queen isn't a very good space maker in this type of game.
Yeah. Well, still no commitment from 11 as to what item he's going to go. The fact he's got 3k gold suggests...
Shadow Blade, yeah.
Yeah, something bigger. He's got the money for it, but holding on for now.
It's
Curry is in use.
Though. It's a really good choice against the Bristol still, in the long run.
A lot of Radiant Sentries already up, especially around this mid lane, but it just gives him more damage as well to play around with. That Walrus Punch is going to start hitting even harder. IG do manage to 5-man and bring down a tier 1 tower. Despite the Aegis on the Dire side, they just weren't really in position to fight this one. TA completely mana and HP depleted. So, an unfortunate loss for EHOME, as CTY has gone for a Shadow Blade himself. The one thing with the Shadow Blades is CTY already has one, so Tusk getting one as well. They're already likely to have sentries, so you kind of get some diminishing returns the more Shadow Blades you buy.
Yeah, I agree. But at the end of the day, it's still because of the Silver Edge. Silver Edge is always a good choice.
Well, he goes back for the Blink for now.
Yeah, I personally like the Blink more in this type of game because you can actually catch, you know, much better. Shadow Blade is much more of a carry type of build, you know. You transition into the mid to late game as a much stronger hero because you have the attack speed and the damage.
Well, you can very easily just go for like the Blink Dagger into Solar Crest type build that's so popular for like offlane Tusk.
He can just play as a utility because they have TA and Slug to do right click, right? So the Tusk is just there to basically start the fight, save people, and fill in whatever role the team needs him to fill, like buy all those utility items. He doesn't really need to be that carry Tusk, you know, because his team is going to be able to dish out a lot of damage.
Well, for the first time in this game, IG seem to have formulated like an overall strategy as to what to do. They're grouping up, they're taking towers, using the fact that 430's farmed up a mech, Rabbit has a Vanguard, so he's tanky. Their 2 cores in the front lines are very hard to kill and bring down, and as a result, it's hard for EHOME to engage in this. Slark is still very squishy at this stage of the game, and that's where he can't really fight into the Bristleback and into the Shadow Fiend mech. So for IG, I like what they've done, taking the T1 mid, taking the T1 top, and trying to force a team fight.
They know they have the mech advantage as well.
Yeah.
And Slug at this point is not so strong yet, so they've
got an Invis rune too. This is dangerous. 1 sentry on Rubik. Is he going to plant it?
And this Bristol is just like a boss. He knows how he's going to be very tanky with
They lost Aegis now as well. I definitely don't see EHOME looking to take this fight. They get a tier 2 bottom lane, so this is decent stalling for CTY. EHOME are dealing with this well, I'd say, but IG are at least gaining ground.
I don't think they need to engage though. They just need to clear out the wave and let the Slug push bottom. Then they have to back. IG have to back because of that.
Yeah. CTY is already hitting away at the tier 3 tower, so someone's going to TP. Could potentially relocate to defend, and then
once
come
someone
back.
TP, they're going to initiate and Slug can TP top. So they are not going to let them TP.
Yep. This Tusk is just following with a Blink Dagger. It's a game of chicken right now. And no one can TP. They're going to look to fight this one. 11 on the front line takes a lot of damage. Pops up the Sigil. Sonic Wave from the side. Nice play from Lure. Gets a kill on the Tusk to start things off, but the Slark split push is still a problem. Only now the first TP comes in. The tier 3 tower is down. CTY gets stunned up once. The Raze will land. They get the kill as well. IG make the best out of a bad situation, and I'd say the end result is pretty damn good for them.
He still lost the tier 3. So
yes,
all in all, overall exchange, I think it's still acceptable loss for EHOME though because they got the tier 3 so early. The next time this happens again, it's gonna be Rex.
Yeah. It's more, I don't see IG putting themselves in such a bad position like that again with the push game, but...
Yeah, and the Slug only died because he was greedy. He tried to take the tower.
He didn't have to finish it.
He didn't have to, yeah, he didn't have to finish the tower.
Or he should have probably popped the ultimate earlier. If he wanted to finish the tower, pop the ultimate, and then maybe he could have lived.
He got right click. He got right click by SF. Yeah, a lot of ways that he could have lived there, but all in all, it's still, I think it's still a good trade at the end of the day for EHOME. Even though they lost, 2 heroes for that to happen.
And once IG were in that position where they were stuck and couldn't TP, it's like the fact that they killed the Tusk and the Slack is at least making the best out of where they were at. But SF at bottom getting snowballed. Okay, no, I was about to say snowballing the creeps. I was like, what on earth is this snowball about?
That was an intimidating snowball. He tried to scare them off. And usually what happens when you see a Tusk snowball, you try to run as far as possible, right? Because when he...
Or you pop your BKB.
Yeah, when he snowballs towards you, you want to be as far away as possible, but that's what they were trying to do, and they didn't realize he actually snowballed onto the creep. So that was a really good play from the Tusk. Again, you know, this Tusk has been just playing really well.
I thought he was snowballing 430 there. I was confused. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's alone snowballing into 3 heroes here, but no, like you said, it was just intimidation. Casco bouncing, 430 gets away from the bounce. Nicely played, although he does trap himself slightly to the side. IG, I mean, they're looking strong right now. Their 5-man cannot be dealt with, although again, it's EHOME split pushing. This time it's the TA in the top lane. Slark ready to pounce. It's completed as Sanjin Yasha. He's looking to scout as a courier overhead. Go through. Go straight in on Super with the Shadow Blade damage. He's going to bring down the Eye, but Earthshaker gets a double kill. Chuan picks up a blink immediately afterwards, but he's already taken out Tusk and Rubik with the help of 430's BKB Requiem. Split push not there. It looks like TA decided to come down for this one. EHOME want to keep on fighting. CTY's going to be careful. Needs to get the ultimate. Just barely does, but he dies inside to the raise. It's 430 on point. As Old Chicken marches forward, the cast needs to be good. It doesn't bounce to anything. Old Chicken now gets stunned up. He's going to go down. IG finding their legs here as EHOME lose 4 and get punished at the bottom lane. Oh dear.
Oh, I was kind of surprised they took the fight though. Because again, they were in a position similar to the last time. They had Old Chicken at top, and Slug was coming in from middle. So he could have chosen to stay at middle and keep pushing, and it would actually put them in the same situation again. They were pressuring 2 towers. I would actually think that that's actually more stress on IG side rather than more stress on EHOME, because IG had to make sure that they take the tier 1 at bottom as fast as possible so that they can actually defend the other tier 2s. So I think that situation would have actually put IG under more pressure.
It felt like CTY with the newly picked up SMY just really wanted to fight, because he knew he could just insta-kill a Wisp, but elsewhere his team couldn't get to him. There was an SF and an Earthshaker between his team and the Slack. The Slack was behind enemy lines, completely trapped.
Yeah, they have to understand it's a lot of AoE, you know. SF, Queen, and Earthshaker. Even though you take out the Wisps out of the equation as soon as the fight started, so they were fighting 4v5. But the main damage is coming from Shaker, SF, and QOP, and even the kill square. So the 4 other heroes are still able to dish out a lot of AoE damage, which Slug is so weak against, because Shadow Dance doesn't help against AoE damage. And he wasn't able to fight very well because of that.
I saw it. CTY yesterday he took a game to kind of get his bearings, so maybe this is just that game 1 jitters that we saw yesterday for EHOME bounce back, but...
I think they need double BKB for them to be able to take fight on TA and Slug.
Absolutely. Like, just to negate the SF Requiem damage, Rabbit gets in a bit of a spot here in mid lane, but instead it's going to be 11 overextending. You betcha Lua gets the cleanup. Lua's turned things around. First the kill at top lane on the Tusk, and now helping out his team clean up this Tusk here in the mid. He's recovered.
He's having a really rough game though, after the start. I mean, the early game was great, but the last few fights, he's been like the receiving end of dying every time.
Has decided to go for that BKB now because of it, but looks like IG happy with what they've got, and will just TP the Shadow Fiend back to farm. 430 has 3.5k gold saved up, and we'll see him pick up an Eagle Song. So Butterfly will be his next big purchase. Good item against both TA and Slark. With TA needing a BKB, we won't be seeing a Monkey King bar for some time out of Old Chicken.
I'm not sure though. Maybe with the Aegis it might change his mind though. Because when you have the Aegis, you want to build as aggressive as you can if you are given a chance. So I wouldn't rule it out entirely because it's still possible when you have Aegis.
Oh, another invis room for 430. It's a Radiant Sentry in mid, so he could look to walk in.
But you see the SF aura, you know, when even if you think this.
Oh, he's channeling it from the side. Lamb gets blown up, and elsewhere it's the Echo from Chuan. IG. They're making plays happen here. They are just outplaying EHOME more than anything, it feels like.
They have to... Man, they have to be more careful now. Is this even Brax?
There's only one buyback. Slark can't defend. He has no way of fighting. TA has an Aegis, but has no BKB.
No BKB. They're useless actually. They can't do anything.
It's a Rax. What was once a 10k gold lead very early on is suddenly a 25-minute Rax the other way. CTY TP's back, but this melee Rax looks to be going down unless 430 can be dealt with, but he's got a BKB. He can almost just BKB and focus down the building if he wants to. TP start coming in. EHOME of 4 alive. The 5th about to respawn. They get the melee Rex and they're looking to get out. Rabbit on the front lines. Maledict up. No relocate available. Actually, there we go. It's a relocate save. That's... He's just being channeled 430. Going to get snowball. Pops the BKB. Somewhat worried about getting caught out there. Doesn't have a TP though. That was a very early BKB. The Walrus Punch will slow him down, and now he's going to look to turn and fight elsewhere. TA brings down the IO 430. We'll see. Some collateral taken by EHOME in exchange for the melee Rax, but the net result...
They didn't boost the Aegis though.
Are they going to go right back the other way?
That was great. They didn't lose the Aegis, but I don't think they can actually get a Rax, a counter Rax here. Maybe just a tier 2.
SF has buyback if they need, although I'm sure IG don't want to use it.
They should be able to defend this Rax. They'll just lose a tier 2. I guess all in all, it's still quite evenish because they lost a lot and they didn't lose the TA. But IG may be slightly happier because they got the melee Rex. At least they got the melee, so that was important for them. But I still think this game right now is still quite even in the balance. Any side can still win.
Yeah.
They really do need the double BKB so for them to be able to fight. Triple BKB if you count the tuts as well.
Well, this is an X-Factor item. IG have managed to farm a first item Hex on Luo, so even when the BKBs come up, IG can still get the jump on these heroes with a Blink Hex. I mean, we've seen the Blink Echo Slam also at play as a way of initiating and potentially preventing heroes from getting off these BKBs, but...
Then it comes down to who gets the jump first. Whoever gets the better vision, whoever spots out the key target first. So
like you say, a potentially even game, and it's going to come down to who just gets the better initiation.
Come down to the Tusk versus the Shaker, I think. Or maybe the Tusk versus the Queen.
And for those of you asking, I see some people confused. This is game 1. The score at the top of the screen that says it's a 1-0 advantage for EHOME is incorrect. It's a reborn bug with best of 3s. It's game 1 of the best of 3. And neither team leads one game has any kind of advantage.
Yeah, has BKB.
And Slack also... If he
Slack has BKB.
Be very surprised if he doesn't buy it. We'll see what he looks.
There's no way you don't get BKB. I think against Shaker and SF. There's too much AoE damage that you cannot really do anything about in team fight. Now with the triple BKB, they have like a power spike in the next coming fight. They're gonna be so much stronger. So right now IG is just doesn't have a clue about what's happening. So EHOME should take a fight as soon as possible, unless this ward actually spots out. I'm not sure if he spotted the TS BKB, this ward here. Probably not.
And they smoke outside of range as well of the ward, but a lot of heroes missing, and IG may look to go for a smoke of their own. They're grouped up near mid, they TP in the bristle, and for now just holding their high ground. They're drawing lines on these maps. No one is defending top. No one is pushing up bottom. This is fairly obvious what's going on. Maybe it's easier to say that as a spectator, but it feels a bit too obvious.
Opponent has Aegis as well.
Yes.
So it's quite obvious that they want to fight. And usually when you smoke, that's why you don't really want to smoke the whole team. You want to smoke maybe at best 4 heroes and you show, but even if you smoke 4 heroes, right, and you show 1 hero outside the map, sometimes it can be very obvious. So usually teams try to leave 2 heroes behind, like you show 2 heroes in one of each lane and you smoke 3 heroes. The counter smoke.
Okay, and they're running right down the mid lane. They know this has to get defended soon. They're expecting to find a pick, and it's going to be on 11. Can he? He's already blinked. Hasn't got it available. Blink Hex from Luo. Sonic Wave if they need it. They're not going. Oh, they'll use it. They didn't need it, but they'll use it.
They might still be able to fight though with the Sonic Wave. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe not.
I mean, that's a big source of damage to go through the BKBs, but it's still a risky. They timed that smoke gank as the Aegis expired as well. Really nice little decision there from IG. So if they find the TA, they can actually take her out and not worry about the respawn.
Oh yeah, we didn't actually get to see. There wasn't any notification, right, for the Aegis.
No, I didn't see anything. Maybe it was while that fight was going on.
Usually you have a notification, but all in all, it was a really good time gank, like you mentioned, by IG. It was a really good anticipation as well.
Well, I think stand right now. EHOME looking to keep on farming CTY. His impact has been limited since the laning stage, where he got a lot of kills on the IO Bristleback and really did dominate the lane, but the mid game for EHOME has not been their forte so far.
Yeah, they just didn't have a strong team fight composition like IG. IG, even though they were, I think when they started the group up, they were behind by 7,000 gold or maybe 5,000, but they were able to use their composition and the mech advantage as well, because EHOME doesn't have any hero that wants to build the mech. This game, the Tusk went for a much more ganking orientated build, so none of his teammates are able to build the early mech that IG managed to secure on the Shadow Fiend.
Well, Glyph gets used in IG, take a tier 2 tower, so they may look to press on if they're feeling confident. Oh, they've got the Hex on Old Chicken. TA cannot get off the BKB. Well, it does do so, but it's too late already. SF now be the one being focused. Is there a relocate backwards? Doesn't look like it. The mech and said 430 doesn't need no relocate. He's going to stand and fight with the Butterfly. He's just so tanky. Looking to bring down Kaka. Just a stolen raise on Rubik. And Witch Doctor in the sidelines. SF will find a triple. Hits the last raise. Takes out the Tusk. Slark on the sidelines can't do much here. That high ground observer ward just giving too much information to IG to push with, and just silly kind of maneuver from the TA when it's such a common ward spot, as the Blink Hex completely caught him by surprise.
I didn't expect them to take a fight outside the base, so that was really surprising.
CTY, Blink, Echo, Sonic Wave, the Fission, one more right click, they've got it! Oh no! Slark does have a buyback. That's the good news. He may look to use it. Both Slark and TA both looking to use buyback. 430 just going to stand and fight. I think he knows there's no escape for him. Or is there? He starts to run. Slark hits the pounce. It was still both carries buying back and SF dying there. Not the end of the world for IG. He did also spend his money, it looks like, so I don't think he actually lost much there, as he bought the Satanic Recipe and the Helm of Iron Will. Tuan will escape. Successful sequence of events for the Invictus Gaming squad.
Yeah, they were actually going to be very happy about that. Like you mentioned, SF didn't really lose anything.
Yeah. And
they forced out double buybacks, which is going to be huge in the long run. So right now, the next contention will be, EHO will be hoping that the Aegis spawns on a very fast timing, so they can actually at least use it to their advantage to sort of, you know, obscure the fact that they used 2 buybacks early.
And especially with Rabbit about to complete an Assault Crest, that's a big item to have for that next Roche fight potentially. Whoa-oh. Slut gets a pick off. Aya goes down top.
Yeah, he just made a really good rotation. Like, he ran, because he had SMY, so he is always 522. Yeah, he was always 522 when he's running. It's very hard to predict all this stuff ganks when you're moving so quickly.
Yeah. He's just speeding his way around the map and continue to farm for now.
All the Wiz knew that he was last seen at bottom chasing his team.
Just speeding his way across the map. Doesn't really slow down IG that much or hurt them, but it is money in Slark's pocket, who can look for that next item.
I think maybe the IO can actually opt to go. I think Ghost Scepter is a key item the IO can actually build into this game. You don't really need to build into anything big, because the mech has been taken care by the SF, and generally Earn plus Ghost Scepter is quite sufficient for this type of game. You just need to make sure you don't die too quick in the fights. You don't die to right clicks from TA and Slug. So you can at least relocate someone in trouble out, or at least waste their time, you know, when the Slug pounces you behind. Because that's generally what Slug's gonna do. He's gonna roll from behind and just spot out the weaker supports. Well, and you want to buy time for your team.
IG are definitely winning the armor game. They've got the Assault Cuirass, and 430's got himself an Ogre Frost Mage for that extra armor as well. He's sitting on a lot of armor right now. My math, 43 armor total. Math takes a second at 4 in the morning. And
Lagging.
he is very tanky. This TA will probably tickle him despite the Desolator. Great smoke timing from IG. They go in, they're looking. Oh, they find a ward. Baited.
That was an illusion, right?
Yep. An illusion caught by surprise, and an immediate smoke from EHOME. They know they dewarded the cliff. They're looking to go for the full wraparound. This could catch IG by surprise if they're not ready for it, and I don't think they will be. This, to me, is much better smoke use than what we saw earlier, where it was just a bit too obvious. CTY makes a Midas pit stop. He Shadow Blades up. He's walking right into them. Is there detection? Doesn't look like it. They get the lift on Shadow Fiend. Can they bring him down? They get the Snowball stun as well. 430 gets tethered up. The overcharge there. Wisp gets blown up immediately. 430 holding his own. Good Requiem in the front lines. Witch Doctor Death Ward gets dealt with, and now it's just 430. Standing, holding his ground, brings down TA and Slark, and with that, IG have just turned around this initiation with one fell swoop. Neither carry has buyback. It's possibly another lane of racks. The gem gets taken, put in the ground, but it's going to be picked up by Luo, so no concern there for the IG squad, and I don't even think they should be going for Roshan. You go for that lane of racks. Bottom lane is ripe for the taking.
I mean, they have a lot of minus armor though, so Rosh is actually just...
It's a pit stop.
They do Rosh so quickly. Yeah, it's just a pit stop. I don't think they needed to rush anything.
Well, they've still got
because
40 seconds. They hustle a little bit, Winter.
As the game progresses, they're going to have 3 cores against... Because Tusk is not that strong anymore now, because he didn't build into the carry items. He's just like the initiating hero in their lineup.
It's more just with TA and Slark dead, I feel like that was a guaranteed bottom rack if they just went for the racks there. It probably is regardless, but...
Because you can put it in another context, right? You take the Aegis now, and you push, you have the Aegis advantage, and they don't have buyback. It's still going to secure you the racks.
Yeah.
And in case something happens, at least you already took the Aegis, instead of you trying to push just now, and if something wrong happens, and the opponent kills you, and they get Aegis as well.
Not only is it an Aegis, it's a Satanic as well, so 430 gets a whole lot stronger as a result. I mean, we saw how beefy he was in that last fight.
I'm just making sure that you take care of all the small little things.
Alright, you've sold me, and it looks like IG are about to sell me as well with this bottom lane of racks going down quick. Still 5 seconds on Slark, so they even had that little window.
There's nothing they can do, because it's Aegis and they don't have everyone up.
Yep. The AC just makes... the durability on this Radiant side, even with the IO dead, it's not even about the tether and the IO heals, or the overcharge. It's very much just Bristleback and SF on the front lines, just tanking in their own merits, so... Right now, EHOME looking like they may drop game 1 to IG. There's not really any solution at this point.
By the way, I just remembered something. Rabbit and Super are old teammates, right?
They would be on the old
Rising
Stars when he was playing as Zhao Tuji, and yeah.
Yeah, Xiao Tuji is Rabbit in Chinese.
Yeah, that was where he began before he joined LGD and became a big star. He's probably looking forward to playing with an old teammate of his. And
humble beginnings, you know.
Yeah. Well, right now, IG. That's a much bigger team name. It is Slark coming in from the back lines, probably looking for that quick pick on Io or even the Earthshaker, I want to say. But Earthshaker does have the Ghost Scepter. CTY getting some good information. Has he been spotted? Doesn't look like it. Chuan's got to be careful, but it's SF in the front lines just dealing with the TA. TA goes down, and Slark's just standing. He's an observer. CTY, the observer ward. He finally decides to go in, catches Super. He won't even get the 1 kill. Ghost Scepter is there. CTY, he says, I just want 1. No, it's a relocate out. Oh. He has the impact on an observer ward as well. CTY. At this point, there's not much a poor Slark can do, unfortunately. Rabbit and 430 will get to work on the tier 3 tower. And I imagine EHOME will be looking to tap out fairly soon. This is gotten to the point of no return, with IG's lead just being too insurmountable. Nice bouncing cast between 2 heroes. Rabbit gets low, but he's got a cheese. Pops it. Puts Super in a bit of a rough spot with that tether forward, but doesn't matter. They haven't got a TA alive. They haven't got a Tusk, and tier 3 tower goes down. CTY looking for 1 last hurrah, but he does not hold a cherry to this Shadow Fiend, who just BKBs up, and Well, that's it. GG is called, and EHOME, with 3 dead, lose game 1 of this best of 3. We're going to game 2, and it's IG who hold the cards right now as they take a 1-0 advantage in the best of 3 winner bracket final.
That was a really impressive showing though. I think by both of the teams, even though EHOME got crushed so badly at the end, but it showed that they had a lot of individual potential. They played very well in the lanes. It just didn't. They probably overestimated how strong they are in team fights though. I really think that when you have this sort of lineup, TA and Slug, you should always be speed pushing because you just use the map and you push waves so quickly. And against so much AoE, usually you just don't fight without your BKBs on, and they tried to fight twice in a row without BKBs and they lost both the fights, and then they realized they had to go farm their BKBs. Usually you lose one fight and then you realize something is wrong. Even with a 7k 8k lead, we can't take a team fight. So we need our BKBs. But then they lost. They proceeded to go for another team fight after losing one.
Yeah, they kept on taking them. They should have learned. They were maybe deterred by the fact that Slark did die when he was going for that split push. That was kind of in some ways a turning point, even though it was like an okay trade for EHOME. That Slark kill was just where IG slammed the accelerator.
They were doing the right thing, right? Remember what was happening back then? The Slug was split pushing and they were just holding the tower. His team is like the 4 guys. And Slug was like, they were doing the right thing even though the Slug died. That was the idea of what they had to do, right? They were split pushing. But then after that, for some reason, they started to feel like, oh, I have SNY on Slug. We should try to take fights with TA, Blink, and that. So no one has BKB. They run in, they die.
Well, that's game 1. We're going to see if EHOME have any answers, if they can bounce back in game 2, or if this is going to be a quick 2-0 series. You're watching IG versus EHOME in the Nanyang Championships Chinese qualifier. The LAN finals for over $200,000 being held in Singapore later next month in October. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to see who's going to take this series one way or another, be it next game or the game after. We'll be right back.